All right. Hey, team. Welcome to our weekly Monday night huddle. I'm super excited because I'm not doing this all by my lonesome tonight. I have a trusty sidekick tonight. Um, he looks so excited to be here. Can you tell?
You guys can tell I'm nervous, right?
um, so a couple housekeeping notes. January 31st is the last day for early bird registration for convention. And I believe it's what, like $79.99 or $79.95, something like that. So that ends January 31st. After that date, you can, of course, still register. I think it goes up about $10. So if you know you're going, go ahead and get registered for that. Who all, raise your hand if you are already registered. That is awesome, you guys. Owen. So funny. He's ready for Vegas. That is so incredible. And if you guys are kind of just not sure if you want to go or not, convention will completely just catapult your business. You were at convention, your first convention was last year, right? Mm-hmm. And he was just so impressed with the company and the CEO and the CMO and all that good stuff. So amazing, amazing event. And it's June 12th through the 16th in Vegas. What else? Okay, we have one more week. It ends Sunday to get entries for the Michael Kors purse. So Steve, I know you're so excited to win that. So
you don't even know the half of it. That thing would be amazing on me.
He is in the zone. I can see it. So you have one more week to get entries for that purse. And if a man does win and doesn't want the purse, I can give him the cash equivalent. So I guess I could have put that in the post. That might have motivated some more guys.
I've already committed it to my downline if I win.
Nice. So one more week for that, and to get entries, you simply need a new ambassador with a welcome pack and their auto call on. So that's really doable in the next week. And then what else? Okay, February 1st is going to be our next new ambassador online Zoom training. So if you have new ambassadors, go ahead and start letting them know that February 1st they'll want to join us for that. And that is the same link that it was last time, so it's posted in our team page if you want to go ahead and find it. And that's going to be at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and those are going to be the first and the third Mondays here on out. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce my sidekick tonight. This is my husband, Obi Ike, and he is actually a senior gold ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And what else was? Oh, he's an accountant, and we've had so many people wanting to know, about Plexus and taxes and all that good stuff. And you guys know me, and I'm not a numbers person. Thankfully, the Lord gave me a numbers person when I got married. So he was like, well, what questions do you have? I'm like, I don't even understand how taxes work. So you might want to just run with it. So we're going to open it up for you guys. Like if you have specific questions, this is what this is for tonight. Get all your tax related questions answered tonight. So here is my husband, Obi Ike.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Obi. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
I guess that's why I'm on this.
Happy birthday, Obi.
Am I good to go?
No, you really have to talk about taxes now.
Oh. Thank you guys.
Cake and drink after.
What?
Cake and drink after.
There you go.
Or during. Thank you guys. That was so cute. Yeah, nobody quit your day job. Just kidding. So funny.
So, do you guys have any questions? You guys can tell I've never really done this Zoom call before, so I'm kind of nervous. Just bear with me. But if you have any questions, just put it out there, and if I can answer it, I'll answer it for you guys.
All right, when we're doing personal taxes, because I just got started, but Jennifer is going to have to do her tax, or we're going to have to do our taxes together. What kind of things can we put on as business expenses when we're filing our taxes, and where do we file, like what section do we file those under?
Okay, that's a good question. I'm assuming you guys are going to receive, besides your W-2, you will be receiving a 1099.
Right.
And typically, as a 1099 individual, you're typically considered self-employed. So there are a lot of things you can actually write off as a self-employed individual versus, just having a traditional W-2, which is, the good thing about it. Of course, you are responsible for your taxes. You are responsible for, stuff like your Social Security, and of course your health insurance. Now, there's certain things you can write off. You can write off things like your cell phone expenses. You can write off things like, any form of advertising, mileage. I'm sure you guys do a lot of driving. Whenever you guys go to some of your events, you can write off, mileage. You can also write off, like I said, cell phone. You can write off health insurance if you have any. So you can write those off. Gosh, there are other things you can actually write off the top of my head.
About things like clothing, if it's advertising the business?
Well, yes, you can, and you can also write off dry cleanings too, as part of the business if it's business related. The key thing is it has to be business related. It has to be what you use to promote your business, and also it's key. You also have to learn to keep receipts. Mm-hmm. I'd advise you, if you do have receipts, hang on to it for another 3 to 5 years. That way, if for some reason you ever do get audited, at least you have records of those receipts.
Somebody just asked if they can write off office supplies and then samples that they give out to people.
You can write off office supplies. That's a good thing about having a 1099. There's so many things you can write off, even your laptop. If you purchased your laptop last year, you can write that off because it's part of the business. Part of running your business. So yes, office supplies, because as Plexus ambassadors, I'm pretty sure you guys buy a lot of supplies. You guys pretty much have your own. You work from the house basically. Now, there's another thing you can also write off. You can also write off expenses at home, such as say you have a 5-bedroom house, and maybe you use one of the bedrooms or one of the rooms for your business. You can write off 20% of your mortgage, or 20% of whatever it is you pay on rent, or 20% of basically the expenses that you whatever it is you spend, to run the household, so that's the plus side to it.
Basically, he just tells me keep my receipts for everything. I literally keep all my receipts in here. You want to get that thing?
Yeah.
I just have one of these accordion file things, and I should organize it better than I do, but I pretty much just throw them in here if it's Plexus related. And then a good accountant would know if it's deductible or not. So if you're not sure and you are having someone else do your taxes, just keep all your receipts and they'll know if it's going to count or not.
Yeah, and whenever you travel, whenever you guys are out of town for convention, you can also write those off. A lot of people don't know this, but if you're at a Plexus event, whatever it is that you spend, you can tag that as a business expense. So you can write those things off. But again, the key thing is to hold on to your receipts, keep all receipts, because I tell you what, the moment you get audited, that is one thing they want to look at. They want to see those.
So how long did you
I would say 3 to 5 years, just to be safe, just to play it safe. 3 to 5 years, and I think it should be fine.
wanted to catch this.
Well, something that I've done just recently, and I wish I would have done this a long, long, long time ago, is, and maybe you don't want me to touch on this, but like a separate card.
Yes, actually, I was going to touch on that. Now, one of the things I actually,
my accountant advised me.
Yeah, is to
on our date night.
It's always advisable for you to have a separate account. Just just think about a regular business. You never want to use your personal account to run your business. So I'd advise you, if you can open up and you can use the same bank account that you have. Just tell them to open up a different account for you. Get a card for the just link to that account, and just use that for any Plexus related stuff. Some people like to use credit cards, and what they do is they run all their expenses on there, and at the end of the month pay all that back. It's a great way to build your credit. That helps a lot. But if for some of you, if you are against credit, then just get a separate debit account, and just run all your Plexus stuff from there. So that way you don't mix, your personal stuff, personal household stuff with, your Plexus business, because Plexus is, you are running a business. You may not have a storefront, but it is a legitimate business. So
what about sorry, I just thought of this, like personal growth books and stuff like that?
Again,
like books,
you can still write those off. Again, it has to be business related. It has to be for the business. So if you're buying those books, just for to increase your knowledge or to kind of grow your business, then yes, you can write some of these things off. Again, receipts. So, and again, I would say just get a separate account.
Who all has a separate account so far that they're using Plexus for Plexus? Okay, so a lot of you already do.
Good.
You guys, I just now, when did I start that? Like a couple weeks ago?
Even though I told her this like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm not very detail oriented, so until he actually like got me a new card, I'm not very good at that stuff. So, but I so wish I would have done it like when I started. So if you haven't done that yet, it's definitely something to think about, because then all you have to do is go and look at your bank statement and everything's there. It just makes it so much easier to track everything.
Right. And for mileage, I would advise you to get a mileage log, because that's one thing the IRS looks at. If you ever do get audited, a lot of people, what they do is just make up numbers. It's after a few years, if you do get caught and you don't have proof, then that can be a serious thing. But I would say get a mileage log, or get a booklet, a little booklet, that you can, and then that way, whenever you are out, you attend an event, all you do is just log your mileage.
I think there's actually some good, Amanda, yeah, you guys did get a lot of mileage. I think, aren't there some apps for that too? I feel like there's some apps that would be easier to track that, because I know for me personally, if I had to write it down when I got in the car, I just know I wouldn't. But if you could like have an app on your phone, so I don't know what it's called, but I know I've heard that there is a mileage app on your phone. I could look that up while you.
Yeah, there is, and I've seen a lot of ads on TV, with this mileage app. So yeah, any mileage app would do. Or if you're the type of person that just loves to have a book, a log, just do that.
I know, Mary, didn't you just buy one the other day? Oh, sorry, you're muted.
Okay.
I got mine at the office supply store for like $2.
Oh, okay.
At the front of the store. So
Nice.
Okay.
I have a question. Obi, on that mileage, do you have to, because I would use my personal vehicle do you have to do a percentage of mileage in order for it's even worth writing off?
You don't have to do a percentage of mileage. Any mileage will help, honestly. It's either you use mileage or you use stuff like gas, and you can't use both of them. So if you're gonna use your gas receipts, or if you're gonna use some kind of maintenance on the vehicle, from doing taxes so many years, I've found out that you're better off writing off your mileage versus having stuff like gas receipts. So rather than do a percentage, if you can be on the conservative side and say, okay, if you've not been keeping a log of your mileage, that yes, you can maybe come up with a safe number that you can use. But I would strongly advise that you maybe this year just start having a mileage log. Just log it, and it will help in the long run. So
okay.
Yeah. Anything else?
What other questions do you guys have?
I got a question. It's a Schedule C, right, Obi, that we file?
Yes.
Okay. And then what about, because I don't keep inventory, but what I would give away, we can write off, right? Right.
Yes, and I know we talked about this, giving away gifts,
Samples, though.
like samples. And I don't know about other tax people, but the way I like to code it, I like to code it as some form of advertising.
Okay.
That's really how you advertise your business. Really. The other people that like most of these sales companies, whatever, they have billboards that they or they have advertising companies that they go through, but the only form of advertising for you guys really is just giving out samples, and just really that's really how you advertise. So I code those as advertising, and I think that's one way you can go about it. So yes, you can write those off, because again, that's the only form of advertising you guys do.
Okay. Now, we can't write off the products we use, right? Or can we?
It depends on your accountant.
Yeah.
What did you do with Kim?
Typically, I just tell them to give me a list of things that they gave out, and it's really hard for you to separate those. Unless you actually know what you purchased for your own self and what you purchased for the business. Again, you buying those things for yourself, that's how you keep your business running, I assume, because you have to get 100 PV, I believe, for you to get paid, right?
Right.
So yeah, again, that's how you keep your business running. But if you can separate those, great.
Oh, I have them separated.
Oh, you have them separated? Okay.
Yeah. He did taxes for one of our friends last year, and she's an Emerald, and she because she doesn't just buy like samples to give out. Like, she would get a bag of Slim and do like how I do, and just like hand out one or two here and there.
Right.
So I remember when she showed me her stuff, like didn't she just do like tick marks, like tally marks of like when she would give a Slim out, she would just do tallies. And so at the end of the year, she knew how many sticks of Slim she gave out. So then she kind of knew how many bags that equated to and that kind of thing. Right. So that wasn't like, an amazing system, but she at least kept track of how many she gave out. And that seemed to work for you when you did it, right?
Yeah, and typically whenever you guys buy some of these things, you guys buy them at a discount. But then when you give them away, you don't necessarily give them away at that same discount. That's not how you run a business, but you're typically investing in your company, and but whenever you give it out, you give it to them the wholesale value. Not
Well,
wholesale, but
actually,
uh,
most of us give it for free.
okay, yeah. But again, you purchase those items, so it's an investment. That's money you've invested, and you're now reaching out to other people, trying to get them over, trying to advertise the business basically. So
Yeah, because my accountant last year, it was, obviously it was my first year, and I've done previous network marketing where I keep an inventory and I can pull out of for personal use. And so that's what I was doing. I had kept track of that and what I had given away, but he didn't allow me to write off my personal use. So this last year, I kept track of it separate. So
you're kind of doing it opposite than the year with the last company. It's like you had inventory and then you can pull for personal. Now it's like you can pull from your personal for your, samples and stuff.
So, I mean, if you can separate them, that's great. I just know it's kind of hard to separate some of these things. Just keep track of them.
I just write it on the receipt when it comes in, is what I do.
Okay.
I do that same thing.
Or I order it separately, knowing that it's going only for giveaway stuff.
Right. And that's even perfect. Again, that's why you want to have your own separate account for just your Plexus business. And then if you decide to buy something for your own self, then you can use your own personal account. But again, the debit card or credit card or whatever it is you want to dedicate for just Plexus, just use that strictly for Plexus, and you shouldn't have an issue. You shouldn't have a problem.
That's what I do. Like if I know I want to give out samples, I mean, of course, for my own personal stash here and there, I'll give a sample out, but I'll just be like, okay, I'm going to buy an extra bag of Slim this month, and that is for my samples. And then I tend to give out more because I know I'm not digging into my personal stash. But and then some of you may be wondering, like, how do you know if you're going to get a 1099? That's if you make $600 in that year. So if you made $600 with Plexus last year, they'll be sending you a 1099 towards the end of this month. So,
hey, Amber.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say I started last year in November, and so I did not make. I thought I got a certain amount in December 15th for the November, and then December's income was actually given to us, January 15th. And I thought I was going to get a 1099 because the two totals was more than 600, but I did not. That carried over. So the December of 2014 was paid January of 2015. So anything from December of 2015, we're getting paid what we just got paid. So just FYI, if you're trying to calculate for new people, I thought I was going to be over that, and I wasn't.
That's
so
a great point.
It was a carryover, and I had to email customer service or whatever about that, and they just said, no, it's because it was paid January of 2015.
Yes.
So just FYI.
Great point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
And then the other thing, I know that I tend to, whenever I buy stuff, and I put Plexus at the top of the receipt, and I've thrown it in an envelope just like most people have. Just FYI, Obi mentioned saving the receipts for 3 to 5 years. I've learned from my business accounting people at my other job that ink, if you write on a receipt, like a Target receipt or a Walmart receipt, or you circle something, that ink will fade. And so it's smarter to take the receipt, maybe save it, and then log it. And so you do have a match, because that ink, when you write on that receipt, will fade over time. I mean, we have a whole rigmarole of rules at our office for submitting receipts for our foster parents, and we get hit with that a lot. And then also other ideas that I'm going to do is postage, envelopes, and mailer envelopes for the Slim or what have you. I have my receipts from convention for my airfare. Is that doable? Is Obi airfare and cab fare, or rental cars kind of stuff.
Yes.
Hotel. That okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm good then.
Yes. And then back to the receipts. Yeah, you bring a great point. Bring up a great point. Sorry. Sometimes those inks they actually do fade. There's this thing that they have now where you can actually scan your receipts, and you can just save them on your computer. That way, if you don't want to carry your receipts, if you don't want to stack them somewhere, whatever, at least you have them on your computer, or you have them on a hard drive. So that's one way to do it. So yeah, but yeah, your travel fare, hotels, cab, yes, yeah, you can pretty much. Oh, sorry. You can pretty much you can actually write those off.
And then also things like if you have like a Zoom account, I'm assuming, because I pay a monthly fee for this to have it a certain amount of people that can get on. So I'm assuming like that monthly fee I can write off and stuff like that.
Yes, you can. Yes.
Okay, let me see. Oh, you guys have questions. Sorry.
Can we go back to the 1099 if it's not over 600? So if you did not make $600 last year, you don't need to file taxes on your business?
I honestly,
If they don't give you 1099.
if they don't give you a 1099, personally, I still report it.
Okay.
That's just me, because here's the thing, I'm pretty sure you have another job, and sometimes any extra money you get could bump you up to the next tax bracket, and it could be just that $50 right there that could bump you up to the next tax bracket, or $100 there. Again, if you don't receive one, then chances are they did not report it to the IRS. Then you really don't have to. But personally, I still report it. That's just me. Again, you don't have to, because the IRS does not have a record of it.
With the receipts, I know that you can use Sharpies, highlighters, or crayons. When I was working retail, if you circled it with crayon, it would stay for years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So that's a thing that I learned then.
Highlighters fade though. Highlighting fades.
Okay. I would say we always use crayon whenever we were circling like tax deductible stuff for the store. So we try that.
And actually, there's one more thing I just wanted to bring up. Quarterly taxes. A lot of I don't know if you guys pay quarterly taxes, but that's really what gets a lot of people, because at the end of the year, when it's time to file taxes, they look at this huge tax bill and like, oh my goodness, I have this, I'm paying, $3,000 or $4,000. I think, having some kind of account where whenever you do get paid, just take off a certain percentage, just whatever it is you're comfortable with.
Don't they say typically like 30%?
Typically it's 30%, but 30% that is if you don't have things to write off. 30% is a safe place to be. Chances are, if you do write off 30%, there's a big chance that, if you do pay 30% every quarter, there's a big chance you probably get a refund. That's because at the end of the year, you have things that you're now writing off, and then you have your mortgage, which you did not take into consideration when you paid that 30%. You have your dependents, that again you didn't take into consideration when paying the 30%. So if you can afford it, then I would say yes, do your 30%. I typically would tell people, stay within 15 to 20%. If you can go up some more, then that's great. The key thing is you don't want at the end of the year you're paying this huge tax bill because you didn't plan from the get go. I would rather just pay that every quarter, even if it's $500 every quarter. It goes a long way. That way, at the end of the year, rather than paying $5,000, you may end up paying $2,000 or less than that. So that's just.
I'll say like a lot of jewels do the quarterly taxes, and I just want to tell a fun story. I remember, and it's definitely gone up since then. This was probably a year ago, and I remember Jen Hawkins, who's one of our diamond uplines. She's actually diamond emerald now, but she said she went to go pay her quarterly taxes, and the amount she paid in her quarterly taxes was enough to pay for 4 years of college for her daughter. And that was what she was paying in her quarterly taxes, you guys. Like,
that's insane.
I'm not a numbers person, but I'm pretty sure that just means she's making bank. So,
Obi, how much do you need to make to actually want to pay quarterly taxes? I mean, when my husband had his business, he was required to pay quarterly taxes. When do you know to pay the IRS quarterly taxes, or just put it in a savings account?
Again, depending on how much you make, you can just put in the savings account.
That's just a number you're comfortable with? Like, there's not a set, like, once you make this much, you have to do quarterly?
No, there isn't. I would say if you start making, if you're making over 20,000, no, a year, just set it aside because you will pay. I would say actually from 10,000 because any money you make outside your W-2, you will have to pay. Yeah, outside your W-2. Basically, if you have a 1099, you will have to pay self-employment tax, regardless. You're gonna pay, Social Security. So I would say just set that aside. If you made, of course, if you made $10,000 with Plexus last year, you're not going to end up paying $3,000. But setting that a bit, it just depends on what else, what if you have a W-2 on the side that and you make a lot of money. But again, set aside 15 to 20%. That's a safe bet. I'll just do that.
Okay, thank you.
Obi, when I'm making $10,000 a month, I'll call you and you can let me know what I need to do. Okay.
In a couple months, then.
Okay.
It's around the corner, you guys. You'd be surprised. Like, I remember.
Did I say per month or per year?
You said per year.
Okay.
I thought you meant per month.
No, a year. Yeah.
You gave us the reality.
I'm thinking per month. Okay.
I was like, oh, he's dreaming so big, and then I was like, oh, he just meant a year. Yeah. Just kidding. No, I remember 10 grand a month used to be like, what in the what? Because that's what Nikki was pretty much making when she showed me her paychecks. And I was like, what in the world? And now, like, she shows me her paychecks, and I'm like, what? What do you do with that? Like, I'm so confused. It's just so crazy how life-changing of an opportunity this actually is. So you might be sitting here making, like, an extra $500 a month, which is amazing. And you might be like, okay, $10,000 a month, that's not even possible for me. But it really is, you guys. And it's just, this is going to be our year as a team. So I'm really excited because we're all going to end 2016 as jewels. I'm claiming it. So keep showing up and you'll keep going up. But do anyone else have any questions tax related?
I have a quick one. So I do in-home daycare. So do I pay self-employment tax twice?
Ooh.
Do you pay that twice?
Yeah, would I pay it twice?
No, I don't see why you would.
So
wait, you have okay. So wait. So is this like an LLC or?
No.
Okay, so it's just sole proprietorship and.
Yep.
You just No, you won't have to pay it twice. Now, well, you do get income of course, from your clients. So of course, even if you don't have a 1099, you still will want to report that. And yes, you will still have to, pay taxes on that. So whatever it is that as you make money, say from the plexus and from your daycare business, all that, yes, does add up to, you having to pay taxes on it and also Social Security. Now, you can also write off your home, because you use that as some kind of daycare. So in your case, I don't know, if say for instance you have a 5-bedroom house, you probably use one for daycare and maybe one for plexus. So you can use 2 out of that 5, and you're able to write that off.
Yeah.
So yes, but as far as paying taxes twice, I don't.
See, and I have a hard time like splitting it up because like my cell phone bill can be completely for daycare. The internet, all that stuff. I could use as a write-off for daycare. So then it's like, what do I have left, to write off for plexus?
Well, what you could do is just go 50-50,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Because at some point, it's always going to be 100%.
Yeah.
Whether you put everything on plexus or you put everything on a daycare, it really doesn't matter. So you can either go 50-50 if you want, or you can just put put everything on where you're making the most money. So, and if you don't write the other one off, it just will not make a difference.
Okay.
Your bottom line is always going to be your bottom line regardless.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so my husband and I got married 2 years ago. We still have separate checking accounts. Why, I don't know, but we do. So he pays cell phone bill out of his account. I pay other bills out of my account. So while we may jointly pay them, they are technically coming out of separate bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that come into play if I want to claim my portion of the cell phone bill?
Yeah.
Not literally paid out of my account. How does that work?
Well, because
Is her name on this?
well, it really doesn't matter because you guys are filing together, right? Joint. Yeah, so it really doesn't matter. Even if you're paying out of your account or he's paying out of his account, if you guys are filing together, then it really, if it's coming out of his account, then you can. Now, I don't know that, if he gets a W-2 or not.
Yes.
Okay, and then you get a 1099. So again, it really doesn't matter because you have a 1099. You can write off 100% on your 1099.
Those expenses. Okay, yeah, because he works for the state. I get W-2 and 1099. So.
Well, okay, so that means he gets a W-2. So you can't necessarily write off 100%. You just have to write off yourself.
My portion, which is
your
separate.
portion, yes. And it doesn't really matter if it comes from his account or from your account. As long as it's your portion, then yes, you can write that off.
Okay, awesome.
Anyone else have anything? No. Okay, everyone smile real quick. I'm gonna take a picture of us. Yay. Okay, continue.
I have one more question, Obi. Because I'm on the beginning end of it, and so I'm probably spending a whole heck of a lot more than I'm making right now. How does that work? Can we show a negative, or does this?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you can. And that's the beauty of having a 1099, Schedule C. You can, because
Okay, get it back down to 0.
I don't know. I don't know if I might. I don't know. I may not get a 1099. I'll be close. So then I'll get a W-2 from Plexus? Is that how it works?
No, you always get.
I won't get anything?
You always get a 1099, especially if it's over $600.
Oh, okay. But what if I don't know if I'm even over $600?
If it isn't, and you can show that, you got paid, again, you can still, right, you can still use it, and then whatever it is you spend out of your own pocket expense wise, you can also expense those. And if you have a negative, that's the beauty of having a 1099, because if you have a negative, what that does is it reduces your taxable income, where you don't pay, you're not paying a whole lot, in taxes. So it may help you in the long run, or it may not even do much, but that's why I like using it regardless, even if it's $600 or less. Again,
I would do that. Yeah.
Again, you don't have to, because that's what the IRS calls for. If it's less than $600, you don't have to. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Anyone else have anything?
Hey, I do. I'm sorry. Was somebody else going to talk?
Go ahead, Jill, then I will.
Okay, I have a question because my lovely daughter Amanda is also an ambassador, and she's my dependent right now. Okay. So I don't know that I don't know, Amanda, if you'll get a 1099, because I don't for year 2015. But going forward, Obi, I'm assuming Amanda's going to rock her business and make more than $600 in the year 2016. But then she's also my dependent right now while she's in school. So is there a way to have to split that out, or do you know if she would have to file her own taxes? That it might get a little bit hairy. I don't know if you can answer that for me or not.
Yeah. How old is she?
18.
She'll be 19 in March. So.
Okay. You can still claim her. Again, it all depends on how much she pulls in. The only thing is she won't qualify for what they call earned income credit, because she's being claimed by someone else. Now, once she starts making a whole lot of money, then and if she files taxes, she may end up getting more money filing on her own versus you filing for her. But then being a 1099, the chances of you getting money back, it's really slim, unless you have mortgage or a lot of expenses to write off. So I guess whenever it gets to that point, we can. I mean, if you want, I can just
play the numbers.
Play with the numbers, and just kind of walk you through it, really. And I'll just whatever you use, and maybe TurboTax or whatever, I can just walk you through it as well. So I mean, when it gets to that point, we can always look at it together if you like.
Thank you. I know that I have to claim her for the college costs and whatnot that I'm
paying.
So that's where the split is at, and I didn't know which way it would benefit us. But when we get to that point, like next month, I'll be calling you.
Yeah, I mean, if it's for college, I would say you probably want to claim her.
Yeah.
But then depending on how much you probably want to claim her, especially if it's for college. So.
And it's a private school, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Obi, what if you've paid for your home and you don't have a mortgage? There's really no way. Is there any way to deduct the part of your home you use?
You can. Again, with a 1099, you can, but not 100%.
Okay. Well, no. I just, people were talking about deducting part of their mortgage, and I didn't know if, since our home's paid for, what do I deduct?
Oh, your home is paid for?
Yes.
You can use a percentage.
Okay.
Of and basically how that works is, again, if you have 5 bedrooms and you're trying to use one, you can deduct 20% of your utilities. So you can but I mean, you can still deduct some probably won't be a whole lot. So.
Okay. So a 3-bedroom house is good if I use 1 bedroom.
You know, you can, you know, deduct a certain percentage of that. But, you know, yeah, utilities or home phone, internet, you know, just a certain percentage.
Okay.
That's what you get for having your house paid off. I'm just kidding.
Oh, and a small house with 3 bedrooms.
That's awesome. All right. Anyone else?
I would just a piece of advice. I am kind of a spreadsheet person when it comes to taxes, and I've done this for years. So I put all my stuff on a monthly basis that I come up with. And so I know monthly what my income is and where I'm at with expenses on a monthly basis. I might do it once a month, or I might do it every couple of months, but it really helps you stay on track. So at the end of December 31st, you're not freaking out and thinking you have to go back 12 months and at least figure your taxes, at least me personally, because I like to have it organized for my accountant. So I don't want them having to go through and try to figure that all out. So.
Yeah, I've had clients, they will just give me a stack of receipts, and it's you're literally spending hours just trying to sort through the whole thing. But then I've also had clients that, like you know, they're so organized, you know, they have spreadsheets.
He likes those clients.
And I love those clients, and I end up giving them discounts, you know, because I'm like, you know, it's so easy.
No, there are people who show up with like papers, like falling.
Yeah, it's like sometimes sometimes I wonder if they, you know, just trashed it and just got it out of the trash and like, here, you know, have this, you know. So, but yes, like what we do at home, what I love to do, I always have a monthly calendar, you know, and I pretty much I'm not too crazy about, you know, having like, you know, getting on the computer and trying to type all that or whatever. But a lot of people do that. I think that's amazing. That's so great. But I'm a pen and paper type of person or whatever, you know, and I'll just write these things down. So whatever works for you, you know, if it's a spreadsheet online or if it's just pen and paper, you know, just pen and paper, just keep records, you know. You know, kind of know what you're getting in and what you're spending, and that way you can easily set aside a certain percentage every month, you know. Set aside a certain percent for savings. That's what we do. We typically, before we spend anything, we take out, you know, our tithe, and we take out our savings, and then the rest, you know, we're just using that to pay whatever it is that, you know, we need to pay, you know. But and then of course I'm also taking out my quarterly taxes, basically, you know. So planning is key, you know. That way at the end of the year you don't see like a huge tax bill and you're like, oh, I hate the IRS, you know. So
anyone else? Oh, look at Megan. She's in the like operating room or something. Megan, is that illegal?
There's nothing going on, so I'm just setting up rooms, so I get to work both jobs at the same time.
That's awesome. That's so funny. Does anyone else have questions, or do we answer everything? We as in him.
I've got a quick one. I think you know, if I don't get I probably won't get a 1099 this year, but Jennifer will. How do I input my income to Lexus out if I don't have a 1099? I mean, I know what I have earned. I have a separate account set up in my Quicken where I keep track of everything. Mm-hmm. But how do I enter that income, or where do I enter that income?
Well, I know with the software I have, and I think with Quicken, I think they probably have this too. But there is a section that there's a question that says, do you have a 1099? And if you don't, then you know you can pretty much on that sheet on your Schedule C, there is a section that also says, you know, for this you don't have a 1099. So there is that option where you can actually put the amount even if you don't have a 1099. You can yes.
Obi, I have a question. On the top of the Schedule C, for self-employed, doesn't it ask for some type of code or like what Plexus is?
Yes, I actually have it pulled up right now, and
Amber, the look on her face was like, "What?"
You guys, this is like Japanese to me.
Well,
I did my taxes before we were married. I don't even know how I'm not like being audited.
You can just
I get it wrong.
That's okay, babe.
I just want to make sure I've got my accountant has the right code in there.
Well, the code is just you really don't have to put it. You can just typically I just put not listed, or sometimes I just put a code that's related to like your business, like sales, if it's sales or whatever, or marketing, you can just put that code. But if you can find it, you can just put not listed. You'll be fine. There is a section that states your principal business or profession. You can manually put that in. If it's sales, you just put. I think that's more than enough. The IRS will get the picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he did health and nutrition or something.
You can do that. People do health and nutrition. Some people do sales. Some people put not listed. It's really however it is, however you market yourself.
What did you put for Amber?
For Amber, what did I put? Gosh, I don't remember. I think I put no.
I want to be like Obi. What did you put? I want it right.
I think I put not listed. But then under type of profession, I put sales. I mean, honestly, they don't really look at those things.
Okay.
They just want to look at numbers, and they want to know that that's right,
Amber, Amber, you can only write off one Michael Kors purse, not two.
If I'm keeping one for my personal advertisement. Oh my goodness.
And again, key is just keeping your receipts, And then, again, if you ever do get audited, you can just show them, say, hey, so that's key.
Obi said.
Yeah, right? Just have a paper trail. Awesome. Did everyone get their questions answered?
Well, Amber, I was watching your soul sister, Sarah Marbles today, and she was saying that there's some kind of app that you can scan receipts and file them that way, or store them that way. Do you know what that might be, or?
I don't know what that is.
I think it's called Neat Receipts.
Neat
Receipts. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
I mean, can you call her, Amber? Don't you have her number on speed dial?
It's fine. She usually does reply to me really quickly, not text. She hasn't given me her phone number yet. We're not there yet.
And I think what that does is it extracts the numbers.
I have to get the restraining order lifted first. Continue.
No. I'm saying the Neat Receipts. I think it extracts those numbers on the receipts. I don't know how that thing works, but
have you ever used one?
I've never used one before.
They're neat because it will remember the style of receipt you scan in, and it'll start to categorize it for you.
Right. Oh, okay. Cool.
So like it'll categorize like gas receipts, and
it'll put it under fuel. Like if you get home improvement, if you're building an office, it'll put it under that. I mean.
And actually, some credit cards actually do that,
Oh yeah, our account does that.
Yeah.
When I use it, it categorizes what it is.
So that's why it's nice, if you just have a separate account for just Plexus, because credit cards can even do that. I think some debit cards do that, but I know credit cards do that, and they will just list, okay, this is from a gas station, this is from a restaurant.
Sweet.
Another thing you can do is if you can just do like a Google search, which is what I did a couple months back when I was just starting, and do marketing apps and stuff like the receipt things and other apps to like keep track of financing for your business. So, and there was like an article, it was from like Forbes or something, that had like a list of like 10 apps that you should get for your marketing. And those might help you if you're looking for something like that.
Yeah. I just downloaded one. I don't know. I've never used it, but Receipt Scanner 2 for expense reports. And it has on there, it's on sale right now for $3.99, which is more than what I spend on apps usually. But they have a mileage tracker. You can scan your receipt, and then you can also organize them in there. So
what's it called?
Receipt Scanner 2.
So if you
number 2,
you just get rid of your receipt right then, like you don't have to hold on to it. Like
when I put it into the App Store, it was the first one that popped up.
I would just say put your receipts in storage. You know, because you just never know what could happen. You know, just
the app all of a sudden isn't available anymore. The IRS starts calling.
No, it's just, I mean, still do that, still scan it, still have a digital copy, but there's just something about the IRS. They just love
paper.
I don't know what it is, but
that's like I posted today. A lot of you guys probably saw that. I was talking with Mary about switching from paper planner to digital, and like my palms are sweating thinking about it. Like I just need paper to make it feel real.
Because we live in a digital age, so I mean, they'll probably think, oh, you altered this, you just tweaked it a little bit or whatever, So they just love, hard copies, So still keep the digital copies, but I would say, if you can box the hard copies somewhere in storage, your attic or wherever, just
like literally, if you just need to buy one of these kinds of boxes or something and just throw them in there and give it to your accountant, then that's better than not having the receipt, probably. So awesome. I'm kind of bummed. You guys like this topic way better than any of my topics. You're taking over the huddles here on out.
No, not true, Amber, but it was very good, Obi. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You guys have been requesting this forever. Yay. Okay, awesome. Well, you guys, thanks for jumping on. And if you guys have any more questions, just message us and we can answer those for y'all.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Happy birthday, Obi.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.